we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
The 12th. Oh, this'll be fun.
Columbus Day.
Is it? It is.
Or if you're politically correct, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Why not both?
I just say October 12th and the hell with it.
Why not both?
I don't get the day off paid, so I ain't calling it a holiday. So
I don't get... Oh, I was wondering why each time
that's my fault.
I calendared something at work, it kept saying it was a holiday. I don't think we get off that day, though.
Most places don't anymore.
I better check it, though, because working from home, I cannot tell you how many times I went into work anyway on a holiday. Because I avoid everyone at work.
If I don't get the day paid as a holiday, I'm going to work.
You're not going to work, you mean? Oh, no, I get it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm confused.
I don't get King Day, I don't get Columbus Day, I don't get President's Day, I don't get any of those three.
We get some of them at my
But I get the week between Christmas and New Year's off, so it makes up for it.
Yeah, I don't.
That's so much nice to have. And this year I got 10 solid days straight off.
Jelly. Okay, here we go. This is something we know. Well, we should know. I'm not sure of the answer, to be honest with you. But enough with the introductions. A proviso to a bylaw amendment, A, should be included in the body of the bylaws.
No.
B, can be proposed after an amendment to the bylaws has been adopted.
No.
That's kind of tricky, isn't it?
No, unless you do a motion to reconsider something previously adopted.
Or, it's weird. Okay, C is not attached to the bylaws after its adoption.
No, wait a minute. It's not attached to the bylaws after... Well, it's really not. Well, keep going.
D is adopted by majority vote.
Well, bylaws are supposed to be 2/3 anyway. But not always, are they? Ours are currently a majority.
But this is Robert's default.
Robert's default would be puts the bylaws at 2/3. So
I can see through to what the answer is, and I can tell you I did not know the answer to this one, if that helps at all.
No, it doesn't. But my instinct tells me, what's C again?
Is not attached to the bylaws after its adoption.
I've got to go with that one because we've never seen a proviso in a bylaw in the final product. It's not there in the actual document, but at the same time it does apply, as we well know. Majority vote, I don't buy that argument. It doesn't make any sense to me. So,
okay, the answer is D. Is adopted by a majority vote.
What?
That's what I was trying to clue you by saying I did not know that. The is not attached to the bylaws is weird. It is at the end. It's not in the body, so that's why it's not A.
Well, A didn't make any sense, yeah.
And B can be true. You're correct. If a motion to reconsider or any of the other bring back.
Right.
But
that one was too fuzzy the way it was worded to say yes.
But it's D. So let's look at... I did not know that.
That sounds...
We did a proviso, and
That sounds like that...
sounds
like horseshit, but let's keep going.
I think I understand it. I think they're treating it like an amendment.
Well, let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say, because I'm not...
Okay, for you...
I'm not buying into it. 597.
And I'm just going to go to the back and look up proviso, because I like to...
It's right towards the back end of the chapter.
It would be in that bylaw section at the back.
A time at which a bylaw amendment takes effect is the section.
No, but that's when it takes effect.
Yeah, that's what they're referring to here.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about the threshold, because that says it's a...
Well, an amendment... Yeah, but for yours starts at line 6, which is while the amendment, etc., and so on.
Where?
Right there.
Okay.
So, yes, while the amendment, etc.
They're treating it like an amendment.
Down to 14, which is either method requires only a majority vote.
Yeah, because they're treating it like an amendment.
Okay, read it though. Let's for the crowd.
Okay. I'm just going to start at the beginning of that. 5715 in the new version.
Yeah.
An amendment to the bylaws goes into effect immediately upon its adoption unless the motion to adopt specifies another time for its becoming effective, or the Assembly has set such a time by a previously adopted motion. They should add there, or the bylaws has a provision that says bylaws amendments don't go into effect. Because I've seen that in some bylaws.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm being pedantic.
Set such a time by a previously adopted motion. That'll cover it.
Yeah, but motion seems to think like it's a special rule for that convention.
Yeah.
But anyway, while the amendment is pending, a motion can be made to amend the enacting words of the motion. Because they're treating it as enacting words. I get it now. To amend by adding a clause such as with the proviso that, or provided, however, that this amendment shall not go into effect until close of this annual meeting. Got it. So, or while the amendment is pending, an incidental motion can be adopted that in the event of the amendment's adoption, it shall not take effect till a specified time. Either method requires only a majority vote. Okay, but this is a shitty question.
Yes, because it doesn't address what happens if the proviso was part of the original motion in the first place.
Correct. Or if you go back later to add it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be 2/3?
I would agree. It would.
I am going to ask the priesthood this.
Right.
Because I think that is fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have anything to do with this shitty question. Where here, if we wanted to be technical, there could be a bring back motion.
Howard, keep going a second.
Okay, maybe.
We stopped. Either method.
It is a mistake to encumber the bylaws themselves with provisions which have effect only for a limited time, which the LP's done in the beginning of the party anyway. Mm-hmm. If the mechanics of transition to operation under a revised set of bylaws will be complicated in ways for which the act of adoption must provide temporarily, such provisions can be numbered and attached to a revision draft on a separate sheet headed Provisos related to transition. As I said, it's at the end.
Yeah.
If it's not a transitional bylaws, but it's almost like a footnote, a proviso. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, though, in the 1972 bylaws of the party, the whole, you can amend the statement of principles by 2/3 in 1974 was actually part of, they didn't know anything about provisos.
Right.
They put it right in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we kind of did that last convention. We made a bylaws provision that automatically got deleted after the convention.
Yeah, because it expired.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was never actually an official set of bylaws that contained it because the secretary was busy doing something else.
And to be honest, you don't want to have them wind up in a bylaw as a proviso because they usually relate to how or when the amendment is enacted. The most common example, instead of taking effect immediately, it takes effect at the end of convention because you have pending business under that specific bylaw that you don't want to change and have changed till after that's done.
But I do think somewhere in the party records, the set of bylaws we were operating under in that convention with that extra provision about the remote, there needs to be actually a hard copy of that somewhere. I think I do need to create that and have it in the official records.
You mean for state?
No, for national.
For national, okay.
For national. Remember we adopted that temporary bylaw.
Right.
That immediately poofed out of existence the end of convention.
Right, because
it had
an expiration date on it,
or that weekend or whatever, we were operating under a bylaws that contained that provision. Right. But there's no document that's it's in the minutes, but I actually do think I need to create a set of bylaws
to capture that
effective as
for that period. Yeah. It's kind of like making sure you have a 49 star flag.
Right. Well,
even though it was only that way for about a week.
So at least end up on Elpedia.
Yeah.
I think I do need to create that.
For continuity purposes, there should be a record.
Right. Yeah. Or on the page for the current bylaws, at least put some kind of reference about it so that somewhere in the historical record.
So it's captured,
Yeah. All right.
I still think majority is weird, though, because I don't think it addresses the 2/3.
No, I'm going to ask the priest.
Yeah.
And somewhere
today... Doesn't
today...
the inclusive,
we do need to... I'll go... Because we did tell the audience that I would ask the priest certain things.
Yes.
So I should actually let them know what the answers I got were, so...
Okay.
Done.
Favor! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.